And welcome to the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open powered by Savage Bowling TV. First off, I'd like to thank sponsors for contributing to this event, making it possible. Ebonite, Thompson Brothers Auto Sales, McCarty Motors, Smith Drain Service, Mustang Alley, Tim Seifert, Shelmer's Plumbing, Ace Fire Protection, Big Four Stocks, and Awards Unlimited. These sponsors have contributed $4,000 to our prize fund. Also, would like to recognize some past champions bowling on this squad. On lane 17, your 2013 champion, T.J. Schmidt. On lane 13, Brian Halen, our 2018 champion. Okay, bowlers, you'll be bowling 4 games across the entire center. You will skip 2 pairs and bowl on the 3rd. You may practice on any of your pairs in your cross. The last half of your practice, I'll ask you to return to your starting pair. Bowler A will be keeping score for the entire pair. Please fill out the score sheets. Leave all the sheets on your board. We'll come by and remove the previous game score sheet. Make sure the board is visible. This will help us keep scoring updated as quickly as possible, and your brackets and side pots. Also, you are responsible for checking your own score on the master sheet. Any score turned in lower, the lower score will stand as official. So make sure you check your scores before they are turned in at the end of the day. You have the completion of practice to enter brackets. They will be games 1, 2, and 3. We have $2 and $5 brackets plus a high game pot that will pay each game and series, usually the top 2. Last but not least, all qualifying squads and match play will be live streamed on Savage Bowling TV. I want to thank Chad Lester for his time this weekend. Also, we encourage you to like our YouTube channel at Savage Bowling TV. Spread the word across your social media platforms and promote the live stream. We appreciate your help. Now, if you will remove your hats, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Okay, bowlers, your lanes will be turning on here for about 10 minutes of practice. Okay, bowlers, return to your starting pair for the last half of practice, please. Return to your starting pair for the last half of practice. Also, the high qualifying, the squad leader will receive a $400 cash bonus this morning. The top 4 are guaranteed into Sunday's match play portion. Again, we'll be handing out scoreboards with your score sheets on there. Please make sure bowler A is responsible for keeping score. Please keep those visible so we can come by and rip off your sheets after each game. Again, top 4 guaranteed to Sunday's match play, $400 on the line for the squad leader. Good luck. Bowl well.
All right, good morning. From Lafayette, Indiana, it's the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open. My name's Chad Lester here from Savage Bowling TV. You're watching the 8:30 a.m. squad. First of 4 squads today, and we got, I think, 44 entries for this squad. A lot up for grabs in this squad. If you might have heard Scott say in the announcement, the squad leader gets a $400 bonus from Savage Bowling TV, as well as a $130 gift pack from Big 4 Socks, who's one of our sponsors. Also, the top 4 in this squad will receive an automatic entry into the top 32. They're automatically going to make the cut to match play tomorrow. If you watched the show last night, scores were low. This is a tough pattern. One person was plus for the 4-game qualifier, and that was John Burbage. 800 even for the 4 games. There's a 4-game qualifier. Top 32 at the end of qualifications today. We'll go to match play tomorrow, beginning at 8:45 in the morning. That's when practice starts. All the action begins at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Those matches are the best 2 out of 3. All the way until we come up with a champion sometime around 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Want to thank our sponsors for the tournament today. Awards Unlimited for providing the trophy, as they have for all 22 years of this tournament. Ace Fire Protection, Thompson Brothers Auto Sales, Tim Seifers, Big 4 Socks, McCarty Motors, Smith Heating and Cooling Drain Service, Schomer's Plumbing, and of course Ebonite, Savage Bowling TV, and the wonderful hosts of Mustang Alley. This tournament has been here all 22 years, since 1998. We do have our defending champion bowling this squad. He's on 13 and 14. That's Brian Halen. See the live stream pairs today. We have lanes 7 through 10 up on the screen now. The other camera has lanes 15 through 18. So we'll flip between the 2 cameras every 3 frames or so. We hope to have some special guests at some point in time today. I know Jeff Mann, local bowler, bowls for Marion University, won junior gold a few years back, will probably be joining me sometime this afternoon. He said he'll probably be around until the evening. He has something going on tonight. And then anybody else that wants to jump in. Last night we had Matt Ogle. He's bowling this squad. He's down on, looks like 17 and 18, 17 and 18. So we'll get a look at him here in a few minutes. Another defending champion bowling this squad is TJ Schmidt, who won in 2013. So it'll be a lot of bowling today between now and about 9:30 tonight if all the squads run on time, which they should. as we saw last night, looks like a lot of people are easily hitting the pocket for this first game, but that's when it all, after the first game is when it all went downhill. I have the scores from last night on in front of me. 10 people were plus at the end of game 1. At the end of game 2, that went down to just 5 people plus. And then, of course, one person plus, well, he was even at the end of game 4. At the end of game 3, there was one person plus. So you see throughout the day, the scores went down. If you're in the chat room, feel free to ask any questions. We're going to try to post scores. We'll jump in with scores at the end of every game, but we'll post the standing sheets on our Facebook page, Savage Bowling TV on Facebook. So just bear with us because we usually do go through the scores first. I'll take a picture of the standing sheet and then put it on the Facebook page. If you're in the chat room, though, ask questions. Let us know where you're watching from. It's always interesting to see where everybody's watching from throughout the day. Usually people from all around the world.
kick off things. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open here on Savage Bowling TV. Scott Gilmore, Chad Lester here in the broadcast booth this morning, and we'll be in and out all day during the live stream. We'll have some special guest commentators here later this afternoon. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to some of the players about what they saw during their qualifying squads, but a great turnout this morning, Chad. 44 players vying for a chance at the $400 cash bonus for squad leader, and the Big Four sock pack is well valued at $130. So obviously you dangle the carrot, and we almost doubled the number of entries for this 8:30 a.m. squad. So that shows you that you put a little bit of money in front of these guys, and they're going to take a chance here to pocket some extra cash.
Right. I was talking to some of the bowlers today, and they, you're going to be guaranteed the top 32. You put a projected prize fund out there a couple weeks ago where you're going to pay, I think, $300 for 32nd place. You're automatically up. $700, you're going to walk away with $700 minimum.
Yeah, and we're off to a good start, too. We had 48 last night, 44 this morning. We're already at 90 entries, 92 entries for the weekend. So we still have 3 squads to go. So we're off to a good start. Usually the noon squad is the busiest of the day. I don't expect that to be any different this morning.
No.
And so it's good to see the bowlers come out and take a shot here at what many consider one of the more prestigious events here in the Midwest.
Yeah, as Matt Sanders said, he feels this is one of the triple crowns of Indiana bowling. If you had the Indiana Masters, Indiana Scratch Classic onto that, and to be considered in that, those other 2 tournaments is pretty nice.
Well, they're going to be extremely challenging. I think the bowlers are aware of that. Some people think, ooh, that could be a detriment. But, in all reality, Chad, these guys are looking at, man, if I could just average 201, right?
Yeah.
Maybe run a couple of high 180 games and mix that in with a 210 couple of games, you're in the cut right now. So a lot of these guys take that as a challenge. I'm a firm believer that guys would rather grind their way than have to score 250 a game.
Yeah.
I mean, pick your poison, I guess. For me, I'd rather it be 210 or less.
Yeah, if you're a good spare shooter, you got to feel like you have an excellent chance, because you're going to shoot more spares and you're going to throw strikes on this pattern. And, I think some of these guys will re-enter because they're going to miss some spares and be like, man, if I just made a couple more spares, I'm in, so I'm just going to re-enter.
Well, and I think the value, you see on the left side of your screen, Ryan Mooney just left a stone 9-pin. Always a tough, when you hit the pocket on this pattern, you got to feel like you need to strike every time because it's so hard to get to the pocket. But right there you see Bailey Maverick just leaving another 9-pin just to the right of Ryan Mooney. We're showing, I believe, you're seeing more lanes than what we're really focusing on, but you're seeing basically 2 pair here, 15, 16, 17, and 18. But you're also going to see some guys bowling off to the left and to the right. We're also going to show 7, 8, 9, and 10. The championship pair this weekend will be 11 and 12. Definitely want to thank our sponsors, Chad, because without them, it's kind of hard to put these events on.
That's right.
I want to thank Ebonite for their contributions here throughout. I've had a partnership now with Ebonite going on probably 17 years out of the 18 years out of the 22 we've been going. I really want to thank them. Obviously, I know a lot of people are asking what's going on there. Ebonite's still around, guys, so no need to panic there. Ace Fire Protection, Thompson Brothers Auto Sales. Want to thank Tim Seifers, who's on his way to Florida for a little bit of a vacation. He can't make it here this weekend. Also want to thank Big Four Socks. Dave Slavin will be here in a little bit selling some of his gear. McCarty Motors, Smith Drain Service, Schomer's Plumbing, and also want to thank Awards Unlimited for the Crystal Trophy that has really personified this event for the champion, and also want to thank Holly Shepard and Larry Jenkins, the owners of Mustang Alley here, for being an absolute wonderful host all 22 years of this event. So
right.
it's really hard to find a center anymore in today's time that will let you have the whole facility for an entire weekend.
In December.
Yes. So I really want to thank them for that. They've done a lot to help this event grow. So, and I think they really appreciate this event as well. They like to see the players come out.
They do
participate.
Well,
So.
and over the years, people have gotten to know them, and some of these players come for them too. So. Well, they've developed relationships over the years. So.
Yeah, and we know one thing: the food is fantastic here.
It is.
The prices are great. Matter of fact, one of the cooks brought down this breakfast bowl.
It was huge.
It was gigantic, and it was like $6.
Yeah, and I don't think I'll be able to eat all of that myself. I told him, I said, I think I'd have to share it with you.
Yeah,
somebody.
Yeah,
it's big.
I mean, it was 2 biscuits with gravy and eggs and hash browns and
sausage gravy.
Look
delicious.
delicious. So Aaron McCormick here on a run. Can't see him right on to your left
14.
of 14. Had an open, and now I believe he's throwing a 3 or 4 bagger here. And I'm telling you right now, you string more than 3 in a row, and you got something working.
Yeah, we were trying, when I had Matt on yesterday, we were trying to figure out if anybody had even thrown a 4-bagger last night, and it was hard to tell because the scores were so low.
Well, one thing I did get a compliment. You don't get a ton of these as a director because everybody always has their opinion on what the pattern should be and yada yada. But one thing I did hear is that you can, in a 4-game qualifying round on this particular pattern, you can shoot a 150 or 60 game and recover.
Yeah.
And if it's a carry fest and scores are high, you shoot 150 or 60 and you're out.
Yeah, and we saw last night somebody shot 140 and then shoot 220. The next game it moved up like 30 spots. So.
Well, R.J. Pollard, if you're out there watching, great spare by Jeffrey Mann.
That's
he
2 in
just
a row
picked
for
up
him.
the 6, 7, 10.
R.J. just said something in the chat here. Asked how's it going. Wish he was there. How's the younger brother doing?
Well, R.J., I wasn't at the counter or at the check-in table where when your brother checked in, and so I couldn't razz him. Right now he's on lane 11. He's on lanes 11 and 12. He's got 104 in the 6th with a spare in the 7th. So, if he can manufacture a double here, he's right there with the scoring pace from last night.
That's right.
It's going to take, I believe, Chad, I'm guessing, if scores are very similar to this morning to last night, you're going to probably see somebody 25 to 30 under get in.
Right. I agree.
And, is that good or bad? I don't know. I would prefer that. And I think RJ is one that probably would prefer that too as well. Us guys, we like to grind. Now, RJ had a great tournament last weekend in Coleraine for the Todd McGill event, a very well-run event as well. But scoring pace was the dead opposite. It took 142 over to make the top portion of match play, but RJ had a fantastic tournament over there. So disappointed he couldn't make the trip. He's always been here, and anyway. Thanks for watching and tuning in this morning, RJ, and best of luck to you as you proceed your bowling throughout the winter season.
Yeah, especially a thank you to the international audience that we have watching. Last night had somebody watching from Australia, and so that's pretty cool. Let us know in the chat where you're from. We'd definitely like to know.
Well, RJ, your brother's going to come out of the right side of your screen right there with the 5-pin spare. So he's got 123 in the 7th. He could still go 2-0, but he's on a 180 pace, which isn't terrible.
No.
And So anyway, defending champion Brian Halen is here bowling this morning, all the way up from St. Louis. McKendree is done for the winter season, I believe, until closer to the Christmas time frame. I believe they will probably either go out east or west for the holiday events. And boy, as we see a player here on lane 12 go wash out 5 count, that is so easy to do.
We saw a lot of those last night.
Yeah, and it's like just when you think the ball is going to make the corner, it just for some reason it just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of McKendree players here. If it's the same as what we've had in the past, we usually have a lot of those players come up.
It'll be interesting to see big names if they do come. We've heard some. I know we talked to Kyle Sherman. I did a couple days ago, and unfortunately he had a family event that he couldn't get away from, so he can't make the trip. We were hoping to see Kyle make it. He's never defended his title.
No, he hasn't.
So TJ Schmidt, our 2013 champions, here this morning bowling. Be interested to see if EJ Tackett shows up. Zach, his brother, is here bowling. Zach has bowled so well here lately, so he was really looking forward to this weekend. Matt Sanders is here this morning. Jimmy Cook. So Chris Safarth, who's always done well in this event, made a deep run last year. Players that we do know not coming this year due to other commitments. Mike Dole was a top 4 player last year in our semifinals. Also, Joel Kloss can't make it this year. He finished in the top 4 last year. Surprised, I don't know if we'll see him or not, but Nathan Michalowski bowled, I believe, early this morning. Or he bowled the morning squad last year.
Yeah.
He's not here yet.
He led the whole thing 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, he was a high squad or a high qualifier.
Yeah. And then he made it actually to the finals last year.
Yeah, he knocked out Shannon O'Keefe in the first round in a really good match.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's making the trip or not. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see who does make it, and it'll be a lot of fun to see what the scoring does as we progress through this full day of qualifying.
Yes. And then we get to tonight, and it's probably the most exciting squad that we have, just because we're gonna guess what that cut number is gonna be, and it's gonna be a shootout. See who's gonna make the top 32 tonight.
And really won't have an idea until probably after the noon squad will give us a gauge, because that'll be past the halfway point. So anyway, I got a jet.
Okay.
I got things to do, so enjoy the live stream with Chad, and we'll check back in with scoring after we get it.
All right, they're getting here near the end of the first game of the 8:30 squad. As soon as Scott and his team gets scores, we will he'll come back with them. We'll talk about them. I'll post them on our Facebook page, and then keep you guys informed of what's going on here. Right now, you're watching the live stream on lanes 7 through 10. And we have another Australian watcher. You all in Australia have to be very proud of Jason Belmonte being the top bowler in the world. And an awesome guy. But thanks for watching. Looks like 7 through 10 is starting to finish up. We're going to switch back over to the high end of the house. As they're look like in their 9th frame down there. As I said, TJ Schmidt is on those pairs. He's a prior champion, 2013. Tony Doolin in the chat room is telling Chad Taylor needs to slide on the right foot. You know, he's always slid on the wrong foot, and he's a good bowler. How he does it, I'm not sure. But he was on the If you saw the stream earlier, he was on 7 through 10. Now he's moving here to 13 and 14 right in front of us. But how he slides on the wrong foot and still is sort of pretty much accurate is beyond me. So as they finish up this game, we're going to take a little break, stay on the stream for more action of the 2019 Lafayette Open here on Savage Bowling TV. All right. Thank you guys for watching the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open, the 22nd edition of this tournament. Chad Lester here from Savage Bowling TV, and I have the scores after game 1. Leading away, Jeff Circle with 235, Michael Cottrell 227, Jimmy Cook 223, John Verbiage 222, 5th place Zach Tackett at 220, Matt Sanders 6th place with 212, LJ Kopic 7th with 205, and Tommy T-Cats with 203. That's the only bowlers who are plus, 8 bowlers plus after game 1. Chad Taylor right behind them at -1. Steve Spence at -3 to round out the top 10. I have some David Hayes fans in the chat. He's sitting in 35th right now. He only had 154. Our defending champion is right behind, well, tied with him, Brian Haaland with 154. Other notables, Jeff Mann with 158, sitting in 28. Matt Ogle with 168, sitting in 25th. And we're seeing a lot of the same things we did last night. They're tough. I'll be putting these standings here in just a few minutes on our Facebook page, so you'll be able to see the complete standings. I'll try to take a good picture here. Scott's going to join me. Already went through the list here, and seeing a lot of things. A lot of comparables. The score's a little bit higher from the guys who are plus, but a lot of the same things.
You're still only looking at 8 guys out of 44, so you're only looking at 20% or less of the field.
And we had 10 last night after game 1.
But nobody was in the 30s. No. Obviously, Jeff Circle, a good senior player, is right there.
The high game for the entire squad last night was only 230.
Was
there something
Jesse
higher?
Gibson shot 247 his last game last night.
We didn't see that one.
Yeah, so, and here's the thing. He shot 247 to get to -4.
Oh, wow. So
he was 51 under going into the last game. Some notables, though. Obviously, a couple of guys struggling, which is a couple of surprises. Billy Goodman struggling right now. He had a really bad first game. Brian Haaland had a really bad first game. Now, the cool thing is, though, Chad, is, again, we've talked about last night, a gentleman shot 146 his first game and then came back with 229, and he jumped up 25 spots, I think it was.
That's right.
So Michael Cottrell bowled real well. Jimmy Cook right there, 223. Our squad leader from last night, John Verbiage, starts with 222. Zach Tackett right there with 220, like you mentioned earlier. Matt Sanders, 212. So a lot of the guys bowling well are near the top of the heap here. And again, though, you shoot 180, 170, 180. You're not out of it by any stretch. What you have to do, though, is you have to make spares.
Yeah.
You can't give the spares away.
And watching Matt Sanders bowl right here in front of us, and it seemed like every spare he was leaving were makeable spares, but they went hard. I mean, he went through the nose on one shot and ended up leaving a 7-8 because the 4 fell late.
And I'm looking
he picked it up.
I'm looking at 9 and 10, Chad, and
it's ugly.
Josh Myers shot 138. John Verbiage just chopped a spare in the 10th to shoot 135. So John was plus 22. Well, he's going to immediately go drop down to the minus numbers here. So, again, it's just pair-to-pair must be really brutal, but it's just putting a real premium on spares.
And those of you watching, the standings are now posted on our Facebook page, Savage Bowling TV on Facebook. This is just the 8:30 a.m. standings.
Matt Sanders right here in front of us.
And it's been a lot of this for this game. He left an 8-pin. He crushed the pocket.
Yeah, just
pocket 7-10.
Solid 7-pin. I was going to look to see where Gene Perez was. Gene is kind of forcing urethane, and I don't know if he shot 157 first game. I don't know if that's the right play.
I would agree. And I don't know if he's playing. He's definitely playing the wrong part of the lane with the urethane. So could he get something out that's reactive and play where he's, the outside part of the lane?
Whether you believe it or not, if somebody told me, hey, I'll give you 195 a game, would you sit on it all day? And
I would.
I'd take my chances maybe.
Yeah.
Now, I might roll the dice one more squad because you're looking at guaranteed so much money for a first round match play. But again, scoring, it's demanding, and do you embrace it? That's those that can embrace it and really focus on the task at hand, should have some success. I think some guys struggle with patterns that are this difficult, and boy, they are playing difficult this year.
They are.
I'm not so sure, Chad, that this might be one of the harder patterns we've ever put out.
In a long time, since the early days when they only bowled 3 games, and sometimes we had cuts below 500, in the 490s.
Good shot there by Tommy, and he leaves a ripped 7-pin. That's the problem. Here's the trick is the guys on the right side are playing pretty deep.
Yeah.
But they're almost playing like a fallback.
Yeah.
And they're struggling trying to get the corners out.
Yeah, a lot of weak 10s or 7s. The ball tends to hit a little bit flatter when you're doing that. I saw that's kind of what Aaron McCormick was doing, and he was blowing out 5 pins. So.
Well, and the other thing, too, is you get 10 minutes of practice on your starting pair. You're pretty comfortable on what the pair's doing. If you can't replicate the same thing on the next pair, then that's where the guys struggle.
Yeah, and I talked to one bowler who actually he was a right-hander, started out outside, and he threw like 3 in a row in practice right at the end. He's thinking, I'm good. Then they start bowling, and they change, and he's all the way in like third arrow. He can no longer play it.
Gene is down on lane 15 and 16, and again, trying. Another great shot there by Matt Sanderson. He's gotten nothing out of this game for as good as he's thrown.
He's had to work this game.
I'm like you, Chad. Looking at the pattern, I just didn't see urethane being very competitive.
It's a little bit too long, I think, for urethane.
And Tommy now here with another great shot in the pocket. This time he rips the rack for a strike. You can't see him here on lane 12. But Tommy with a solid 208 game. And it could have been a lot more. He left a 10-pin and a 7-pin in 2 consecutive shots. And he could have easily been in the 30s.
Now, will urethane come into play on Sunday when they start bowling more games? We'll have to see what happens there.
Well, the thing about urethane, Chad, is urethane, you play the front of the lane. If you don't get any, it hooks and then sets, kind of.
Yeah.
And if there's no hook in the middle, you're not going to get hooked down lane from it.
That's right.
And that's where I think Gene is, and Gene's got a lot of hand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many guys that can throw the ball with more hand than Gene Perez. And he did say he was kind of struggling a little bit with. His hand was hurting a little bit. This guy bowls.
He bowls a lot, and he said he's right now he's in a slump. He's just bowling bad, and I told him last night, is that one of those things where you take a little bit of time off, or you just try to bowl through it,
Well, and right now
he said he's just going to bowl through it.
Well, and there's too much to bowl right now.
That's right. That's what he said.
He's got the holiday doubles after this coming up. A great tournament in St. Louis area that. Inside Bowling puts on.
Yep.
Jerry does a wonderful job with that. That's sold out every year. Again, Gene flags the head pin left. You got to wonder, at what point in time does he
try? Or
he pulls out a reactive resin bowl and sees what it does.
Something like the Black Chaos maybe. A little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking as many res as he has, he doesn't need to go something very strong.
Or the Kinetic Obsidian, something that's not as clean maybe as the Chaos, but that won't go sideways on him. so many balls go sideways on Gene, and that's just because of the hand he puts in. So, well, anyway, I'm going to let you take control here.
Okay.
And again, I got a handful of things I can always do. And breakfast, I still haven't got that breakfast bowl yet.
I'm getting that in the morning.
Are you getting that in the morning?
Yeah.
It looked fantastic. I still need some more coffee. So, all right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Okay. People in the chat room mentioned the Peterson. Don't get me started on the Peterson. This doesn't compare to the Peterson. This is actually probably easier by a mile. And I think she was kidding about the Peterson. She was there. She saw how bad her husband bowled. I think we all bowled bad that day, though. All right, they're just finishing game number 2 of the 8:30 a.m. squad. I want to thank you all for watching. As they start moving to their new pairs. Right now you see last night's leader, John Burbage, bowling there on lane 16. He's trying to improve his score. Always got to take care of our sponsors. Want to thank them. Without them, we wouldn't have almost $4,000 in the prize fund. Ace Fire Protection, Ebonite, Thompson Brothers Auto Sales, Tim Seifers. I always want to say Cyphers. I know he's not listening, but Seifers. Big Four Socks, McCarty Motors, Smith Heating and Cooling Drain Service, Schomer's Plumbing, and of course an Awards Unlimited for the awesome Crystal Trophy, and Savage Bowling TV. Leader of this squad will take home a $400 bonus, courtesy of Savage Bowling TV, as well as a $130 gift pack from Big Four Socks. John should be here in Dave should be here in just a little bit. Selling some Big Four Socks. I didn't say I didn't like the Peterson. The Peterson's a lot of fun. It's just hard. It's a tournament. It's a tournament that you go to that you can't get mad about how bad you're bowling, because it's just that hard. It's a lot of luck involved, I think, but it's a lot of fun. I've bowled it a few times and plan on bowling it more. All right, we're going to take a small break and keep on watching. We'll have some scores here as soon as they get them all tallied up from game number 2. I would expect the scores have gone down. If it's a lot like last night, they should go down. So hang on tight. All right, just been given the standings after game number 2. Leading the way, plus 67, Michael Cottrell. Second place, Jeff Circle. Michael Cottrell, first of all, had plus 67. Michael Cottrell. Let me start all over. Someone's standing next to me. I don't want to be standing next to. Michael Cottrell is leading the way, plus 67. Second place, Jeff Circle, plus 35. Tim Logan, plus 29. Tied with him is Zach Tackett in 4th. Rounding out the top 5, Tommy T-Cats with plus 11. Those are the only guys plus. There is one guy who is even. Ryan Burks in 6th place. He's even. 7th place, -4, Aaron McCormick. 8th place, Jeff Flaw, -10. Zach Doty, -16. Jimmy Cook, -17. Matt Ogle shoots 202 second game to move up to 14th. He's -30. Looking at other notables here. Brian Halen bowled better the second game. He's -55, moved up to 23rd. TJ Schmidt, another past champion, moves up to 24th. He's -56. So we're seeing a lot of the same things as last night. It's good that the squads are playing somewhat evenly. So those are your scores. I'm going to throw these on Facebook for everybody to see. If you're wondering where that's at, it's on Savage Bowling TV's Facebook page. Make sure to give us a like. Like us on our YouTube page as well. We have some more live streams coming up at the end of next month. We'll start our travel season, as we call it. We'll do the Indiana State Masters January 25th. The very next weekend, we'll do the finals of Indiana High School State Bowling. And then we'll be covering the Indiana Queens on March 14th. We also should be at the PBA stop in Indianapolis, just walking around, doing a vlog, talking to players. We're going to try to be there the whole week. It should be fun. It was a great time last year. So yeah, make sure to like our YouTube page, comment on our videos, let us know what you think. Standings are now posted after game 2 on Facebook. Go check them out. We'll catch up on the chat here, see what everybody's talking about. I know Peterson was what people were talking right. We'll give out the shout out to Dustin Jenkins. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. The Peterson should be a topic. I believe that bowling should be hard. I think house shots are too easy. I think a lot of people think that way, but that's why we have tournaments. For people who like them hard can go out and bowl tournaments.
Somebody just PayPal'd me. I think it was Allie. Clayton.
Why was she doing that?
She didn't know anything. Yeah.
Because her dad was going to sponsor her, I think. She was trying to talk her dad.
That's okay. I can take $100 out of expenses. Now the key for the new squad will be I'm going to be on time. I mean this
The only way it's going to not
this is
go
the fourth game right here. I think,
Just start before game. The only way it's not going to be on time is if you have like 72 goals.
and I don't see
You're
that
not going
happening.
to
The key for the next shift will be bigger than this one.
You want to be in the 50s or something. You want to be in the mid-50s probably.
Well, if I get 50, that's 130 with 2 squads to go. I just need, 30 and 30. And I'm at 200. I'm at my price right.
Yeah.
But the key is new bowlers. I gotta have new bowlers. I can't have a bunch of re-entries because the price. If I have 80 re-entries, well, that's $800 I gotta make up for.
You know how you run the tab? So if your kids, so they don't have to go to the bar or talk to Kim or whatever, your kids get hungry, just tell them to go down to the kitchen, my window, let me know what they want, I'll fix it up, and then I'll let Kim know so she can put it on your cabinet. That way there's no...
Yeah, it's just so much easier for us to do that way. At the end of the day, I'm up to date, what do I owe? And I just can. Or I pay her or whatever.
Yeah, but just have your kids come down there and take it for
Yeah, how late do you guys serve? All right, welcome back to the Savage Bowling TV broadcast of the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open. And scores after Game 3 are in, and scores are a little bit higher today than yesterday. Michael Cottrell is leading the way at 6:45 after 3. Aaron McCormick jumps up into second after shooting 230 his second game. He's at 6:28. Jeff Circle hanging right in there at 6:23. Zach Tackett 6:18. Ryan Burks 6:13. And Tommy Tikatz is in sixth at 6:05. Then right in here, rounding out the top 10, is Jason Flaw at 592, Tim Logan 591, Zach Doty 583, and TJ Schmidt 568. Also right there knocking on the door is Scott Schmall at 567 and Matt Sanders at 566. John Verbich went 220, 130, 200.
Oh, wow.
He's in 14th spot at 557. Matt Ogle is down at 547. Gene Perez, after a shaky start, has shot back-to-back 190s, but he's down there at 546. Jimmy Cook went back-to-back 160s, and he's at 543. So scoring there, Chad, still very soft. Just counting out, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 200 games in Game 3 out of 44 bowlers.
Wow.
So big jump was Austin Bell. He starts out with 132 and shoots 256 his last game.
That's a big game on this, too.
That's like 280 or 90.
Yeah.
And he jumped from way down around he was in the 40s, I believe, and he jumps up all the way to 13th.
He was actually in 38.
38, yeah.
To 13th with that game.
So what does that tell you? That you know,
You're one big game away from putting yourself in contention of making a cut.
Here's Aaron McCormick. Now he's playing like a fallback shot.
Yeah. He's been doing that since the first game, right off the bat.
Now Brian, he's bowling with Brian Halen on that pair. Jeff Mann is on that pair. Jeff Mann has now got at least a 4-bagger, second through fifth frames, but he's struggling way down at minus 142. So even if he were to shoot 270, he's still going to be probably out of the cut.
Right, and I think this is going to be his last shot of
he
trying to make it today.
Yeah, he gave it a shot yesterday and said he was going to give it another one this morning, and unfortunately for him, things just haven't worked out. It's just such a challenging pattern. And here's the thing, what I've heard from some players. I've heard a lot of players tell me they like it.
Yeah.
And then I've heard other players tell me that it's frustrating because what they think the adjustment should be, that doesn't work. And so anyway, I see some strikes out there.
Yeah, people are still striking. But like you said, they miss a little bit, and the ball doesn't do what they think it's going to do, and they leave a spare that's not makeable.
Well, right now, if you're like Michael Cottrell and Aaron McCormick and you see your score, you can't fall into that trap of, okay, if I just shoot this, right?
You can't get too comfortable.
Well, and let your guard down because you can shoot 150 real quick.
Real easy.
Obviously they're probably thinking, just give me something in the 180s and we're there. But
you don't know who, these 5th, 6th, 7th bowlers are going to sneak in there.
And the key, too, is just trying to avoid ugly leaves. And
yeah, if I'm one of those guys, of course you want that bonus, but, man, just to make the top 4, you're guaranteed into Sunday's match play.
And we're all sharing on our social media sites as well. So pardon us if we pause in our speaking, but, I can't talk and type at the same time.
Yeah, I'm posting the standings on our Facebook page, and it's there.
You know, Chad, if you can, if you post it on the Savage Bowling page, share that on the Lafayette Bowling page too as well.
Yeah, I need to do the Lafayette Open page. Are you been putting it in the Lafayette Open page?
I have not. I need to do a better job here on the social media side.
About midway through the last game of this squad. What'll happen is we'll take a little bit of a break before the next squad starts. We'll be coming back at 11:45 a.m. for the noon squad.
Share these with some of the other pages if they want to say, "Ooh, wow, look, scoring isn't as high, you know," and they want to come up and take a chance here.
Yeah, I mean, if you live nearby, you still have a chance to get here. There's a squad tonight at 7 o'clock. And
Absolutely.
you don't have anything going on, want to bowl in a competitive tournament on a tough lane condition. This is the place to be.
And something that might literally take minus, we don't know. Now, scores are up as the top half, right?
Right.
Now, right now, if you had this after 4 and it was this plus 40 or whatever, John Verbic would be 7th in after 2 squads. So, and that's 800. So, again, the key here will be is what will 4th place be, and what will it take to get to 4th to guarantee your spot here? And like you said earlier, Chad, you shoot a 220, 230 game somehow, and boy, you can really jump up in the standings. So again, we appreciate you tuning in to the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open, the 8:30 a.m. squad going on right now. 44 players vying for a spot in the top 32 match play for Sunday. We want to thank our sponsors once again. Without them, this is not possible. Ebonite, Ace Fire Protection, Thompson Brothers Auto Sales, Tim Seifers, Big Four Socks. Dave Slavin is on hand with all of his socks for sale. Special tournament price this weekend or this day only, so make sure if you're in the neighborhood you want a pair of socks, come check out Dave's table over here at Big Four Socks. McCarty Motors, Smith Drain Service, Schomer's Plumbing, Mustang Alley, and Awards Unlimited.
I've got my Big Four socks on. I don't know about you, but they're literally a lifesaver if you're on your feet.
Yes.
A lot.
They have been, and he's got, I'm just going to tease you. I'm not going to say. But Little Birdie told me he's got some new colors coming out. So
nice. I know the Purdue players are wanting the Purdue colors.
The black and gold, right?
Black and gold.
I could see that. That would be nice.
It would be a nice looking sock.
Absolutely. So anyway, thanks for watching. We're just about done here with the noon or the 8:30 a.m. squad. Noon squad will be right on time. That's always a great thing. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with squad totals and tallies when we get this completed, and then we'll take a break and come back for the 12 p.m. squad. Probably sometime around 11:45.
11:45. Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We're letting everybody know when we're going to be and what's coming up. Yeah.
It's like just that much. But you feel and it wasn't like every shot either. The shots I didn't get got to the spot with the last spot. But like they got to the spot.
Yeah, that was real fun. Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. He is.
And then he'll be so excited.
I never seen somebody else on these splits them both. I'm talking about he'd be right there and all of a sudden he'd be like, I'm like, what? Every single split, he literally shit would be like, every talking about, it was like, no joke, it was like 6 balls in a row. He said, the bitch was like, it's cool, and he's shaking, he's like,
Hey, I saw Tim Bowen, and I saw someone back here like this. Tim has an ankle with him.
man, dude. I'm telling you. It was called Bill. I was like, wow. That's a great impression. Man. This was harder than one shot, man. This is tough.
All right, the squad has ended. We're going to stay on the air just for a little bit, though, until the final standings come out here in just a couple minutes. See who's going to lead the squad, and the top 4 actually automatically make it to match play tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. People in the chat are asking about surface. There's people throwing balls with surface, people throwing stuff that are shiny. They're going back and forth throughout the game, so a little bit of everything. So hang tight. As soon as we get the standings, we'll leave the volume on. I'm sure Scott will announce it over the intercom. You guys should be able to hear that. He'll probably want to come on and say a few things, and then we'll go off the air and come back on at 11:45. Which is about an hour from now for the noon squad. Hang tight.
Your set you made was whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. So, it works. Whatever it takes. It works. You gotta do is get the really bad for you. Okay. Just like you did the bathroom, right? Oh, for sure. Yeah, still lived up to that line. Dude, this year, I think through the lane. Literally, they hit the lane and it's take off. But if you try to put it back,
Okay, results for the 8:30 a.m. squad.
By the way, Chad,
Your squad leader
I will spend the rest of
with
the
the
day at work
$400
watching this
bonus
online. Dead serious.
is
Thank you.
Jeff Circle with 837. In second place, guaranteeing his spot into the top 32 match play with an 828, Michael Cottrell. In third, guaranteeing his spot with an 805, Jason Flaw. And in fourth, guaranteeing his spot in the top 32 with an 804, Aaron McCormick. That's your top 4. In fifth place with a 799, Zach Tackett. Ryan Burks in 6th with 781. Tommy Tikatz in 7th with 771. Tim Logan and Billy Goodman in 8th and 9th for 764, and rounding out your top 10 is Scott Schmall with 757.
Okay, quickly, we're going to wrap this squad up. And again, Chad, tough scores. We did have 4 guys crack the plus mark this morning. Jeff Circle, the senior player, leads the squad with 837. Just kept it right around the head pin. Only had 1 game under 200, and that was a 188. Michael Cottrell, strong start. Struggled a little bit at his finish with the 178, 183. He's second with 828. Jason Flaw is third with 805, and Aaron McCormick is fourth with 804. That is your top 4 guaranteed. In fifth place, Zach Tackett at 799, Ryan Burke 781, Tommy Ticat 771, Tim Logan and Billy Goodman 764, and Billy Goodman shoots 217, 185, 249 his last 3 games and shot 113 his first game. Got all the way back to minus 36. Scott Schmall rounds out the top 10 at 757. Right there on the outside, Matt Ogle 756, Gene Perez 749, Matt Sanders 747, Zach Doty 746, and TJ Schmidt at 744. That's your top 15. Other notable players, Jimmy Cook at 725, struggled a little bit. Chris Safarth, 726. John Verbic, who led the squad last night, struggled in 2 games, shot 703. And then Jeff Mann shot 245 his last game to get to minus 97. But he struggled 150, 150, 140 to start. Just said he couldn't get the ball to shape right. So anyway, Brian Halen struggled. He only shot 660. So, again, scores are extremely low. And right now, it'll be real interesting to see where that cut is going to be at. It could be maybe the lowest cut we've ever had here at the Lafayette Open.
Right. Well, the lowest cut in a long time, but still low.
I believe, I know like 3 years ago we had minus 27, 28. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if we go back into the late 90s, early 2000s, you might have seen minus 40 make a cut. Yeah. I don't know if we got to that far down, but again, the formats have changed through the years. We used to have a second round and
a little bit of match play.
Yeah,
and then we'd go to a top 5 step ladder.
We've had like 8 make the show before in the past. We used to do a TV show with this in this first 6 or so years.
We did it until like 2003 or something like that.
Yeah,
that was the last one, might have been.
So anyway, challenging scoring, and I believe if I look at this, let's see, I think in 2004 might have been. Well, no, Eugene McCune's show was on
yes,
when he
it was.
won. He
that
was
might have
on
been
TV,
the last
right?
one, actually.
Yeah, I think that was probably our last show in 2005. Mm-hmm. So, and that was a lot of fun. Just unfortunately, we didn't have our local cable TV affiliate to be able to provide us the production. So and the costs
start going up.
Yeah, extremely high. And that's the beauty of live stream, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So we're going to be down here for about 50 minutes or so as we run the lanes, and then we'll get ready for the noon squad. We should be close to being right on time. It'll take them just under an hour to run the lanes, and we should be right on time. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you checking out the 8:30 a.m. squad. 44 bowlers, top 4. Again, Jeff Circle, Michael Cottrell, Jason Flaw, and Aaron McCormick. We'll be back here at about 11:45 to get the noon squad underway. Thanks for tuning in to the 2019 Ebonite Lafayette Open, powered by Savage Bowling TV.